be heard. God bless the great state of Ohio and this honorable court. You may be seated.
Good morning. Welcome to Lawrence County Municipal Court. We're going to do reviews first, so we can do the arraignment review. So let's go ahead and call her case up.
State of Ohio versus Rainey Tawney, case number CRA 24191 and CRB 244.
All right, her attorney is not here today. He's got a jury trial in South County, but he said he was fine with you appearing without him, and you're still at the counseling center. I'm keeping tabs on you, and you're doing well. And got Courageous with you today.
Yes.
So I've already seen her. I've got a report from the counseling center.
Your Honor, she turned 8 hours
Oh, yeah.
of service in the day also.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
And Marvin, do you have anything you want to say or for her?
I just don't think that we could have expected anything better than what we've seen through these two.
Yes, I'll say I'm very proud of how you've done, you and Andrew both, and your little family, and we keep tabs on you. It's encouragement for us because we deal with people sometimes that are not so successful, but you're one of our bright spots and keeps us encouraged and keep working. And I want you to be encouraged and keep working, and pray for you and your family. And I saw pictures of your other two girls.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to you all being together and continuing to do well.
Thank you.
So let's we'll give you another hearing date in January, and keep doing what you're doing. You're doing well. Let's make it January 27th.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so we have other reviews. That really was set as a pretrial, but because of Courageous, we wanted to let her get out of the courtroom early. So we're going to call the reviews now. If you're here for a review, bailiff is going to call your name. Come up to the table to your right. I'm going to review your file with you.
Alexis Kane, Austin L. Carmen, Andrew Carr, Kimberly Jones, Chase L. Lewis.
Alexis Kane, 23502. This here. And she's at Bethesda. Okay, it sounds like but we talked about maybe finishing up, but from this, it looks like there's still stuff you're working on, so.
She's doing well, though. I'm making progress.
You still owe a little bit on your fines and court costs, not
Yeah, I'm
much.
going to be making a payment today.
Okay, how much are you going to pay?
45.
Okay, well, you'll still have a little bit after that, but it won't be much. So see the clerk, continue your counseling as you have been. I gave you quite a bit of time since the last one, so I'll go into February before you have to come back. So let's see. I'm going to make it February 7th. February 7th, 2/7. So right at 2 months. But you're doing good. You still are learning and adding to things you are accomplishing, so I want you to continue because I think it's good for you. So we'll see you in a couple months.
Thank you, Your
See
Honor.
the clerk to make the payment. Austin Carmen, 22,254. All right, you just got to get your fines paid or worked off. Are you going to pay anything today?
I'll pay 30.
You're going to pay 30 or, okay. All right, see the clerk to make that payment. you'll have 120 left, according to what I'm seeing on the computer. And if you pay it off before the next hearing date, you don't have to come to court. I'm gonna make it the 21st, so that's a Tuesday, January 21st. I'll write that down, 1/21, 25. Because the 20th is a holiday, so the court will be closed on Monday. So if you get it done before January 21st, you don't have to be here. So you can work or pay off your remaining balance. Okay? See the clerk. Andrew Clark is here. His courageous father.
Yes, sir. Make sure to tell him where you're working at now.
That's what you get known for. I have 3 kids, and then their father rather than my own identity, so. All right, and I understand you got a job working at the counseling center now?
Yep, doing night shift, doing the floors out at Franklin Furnace.
Okay, good job. You guys have come a long, long, long way.
Yes,
from
sir.
when I first saw you in court, so it's remarkable how well you've done. I encourage you to keep working, keep going up, and keep on the path you're on. So, all right, we'll set you for the same day that, that's what I said, January 27th for arraignment. Will be on the same day. Will be your next review, January 27th at 9 o'clock. Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
good job. Kimberly Jones is here. And Ms. Jones is just making payments on funds and maybe.
Yeah, I'm under doctor's care. I'm going to St. Mary's to get a heart scan.
Okay, is this my copy to keep?
Yeah.
All right, you able to make any payment today?
Yeah, it'll be a couple of days. I'll walk it in, bring it in.
I'll set your next hearing for January 10th, 9 o'clock.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Good luck with your medical.
Okay, appreciate it.
Chase Lewis is here. 141065. And you made quite a bit of progress, but you still have some left to pay. Okay, and I understand you got a job now. You can appear by teleconference if you want. As long as you're making a monthly payment, I'll let you appear by teleconference. Do you have a smartphone or a laptop?
Yeah, I'm about done.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to have it paid off before my next date anyway, but I
Okay.
appreciate it.
January 10th will be your next hearing. If you get it paid off, you don't have to come in. 9 o'clock, January 10th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Lynn R. Logston, Micah Ross, Stephanie Romans, Michael Rowe.
Lynn Logston. Lynn Logston's been called for, has not appeared. Hasn't done anything on the case, so it'll be a warrant issue. Michael Ross is here, 213080. Are you still at Bethesda?
No, I'm done at Bethesda.
She successfully completed the acute, sober living, and outpatient.
Okay. Can I get a letter completion on that?
Absolutely.
All right, so
I think my fines are paid.
fines are paid, your community service is done,
Yeah.
your treatment's done, so
Yeah.
I guess this is goodbye.
Okay. Okay.
You can come back and visit.
Okay, I'll check in.
And, good job, your case is
Thank
completed.
you. Thank you so much.
Good luck. Case completed. Stephanie Romans, 173010. Okay, sounds like you have things you're still working on. Okay? All right. I think you're where you need to be. So keep making progress. And I'll set you back for January the 17th. January 17th will be your next hearing, 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Michael Rowe, 23-4. You're just making payments on your fines.
Yes, online. And then, Your Honor, I was going to ask you because of, I'm currently enrolled in felony probation down in Guy County. I'm enrolled in what's called SAM, the Substance Abuse Monitoring Program, and I'm enrolled in TASK. And I have a lot of stuff going on down there, and I was wanting to see if you would grant me to be able to do Zoom meeting on Zoom court on my days, because finding that's getting really, really hard. Plus, from where I'm working for myself, I'm paying my fines online, but I'm currently trying to find an enrollment payment job. So I was wanting to see if you would be able to grant me that.
Yeah, where are you living now?
Same address that's on file.
Okay, and that's in Galcos?
Yes, sir.
Okay, as long as you're being compliant and making your payments, I'll let you appear by teleconference.
Okay.
You can get the login information from the clerk's office.
Okay. All right.
Since your next hearing, do you have a payment you're making today?
No, I just made 2 payments last week.
C1, November 25th, was that the last one you made, or?
I believe so. I made 2 last month. I made it online.
All right, we'll set this for January the 17th.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
And you can appear by teleconference, 9 o'clock.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, that finishes the reviews. We're going to start the new cases, which are probably arraignment hearings. We're here for that. When your name's called, if there's anybody out in the lobby that has a new case, then you can come in now.
You got arraignments for review here, or warrant, or the hearing, you can pull through now.
Okay, that's everyone. So when your name's called by the bailiff, you come up to the table to the right, just like the previous folks did, and stand there. I'm going to go over the charges with you. I don't file the charges, so it's not up to me. That's what the prosecutor does. So they may be totally false. But you need to understand what you're charged with. So this is not for you to agree with, but to understand. You have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything. If you choose to make statements, though, everything here is on the record. What I say, what you say, it's all being recorded. So if you get up, and I've had people do this, they get up and admit, yeah, I did it. The state can use that against you. Admissions in the law are a big deal. So if you get up and admit something, or even say something like I did X, Y, and Z, you're stuck with that. You can't change it. Well, you can, but it's hard to change it after you've admitted it. You have a right to have an attorney. You have a right to have one appointed if you can't afford one. You have a right to bail and to make the state prove any charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. If you enter a guilty plea or a no contest plea, you're waiving those rights. You should not do that if you don't understand what's happening, if you're confused, if you want to talk to a lawyer, if you want to try. Any of those reasons, not guilty is the plea you need to enter. Not guilty is always the safest plea to enter, as it preserves all of your rights. Do not enter a guilty plea because I want to get it over with. I have people tell me that a lot. That's not a good reason to enter a guilty plea. Call the first case.
State of Ohio versus Brittany Cremines, or Brittine Cremines, case number CRB 24-731. Your Honor, there's a cross filing. State of Ohio versus James Weber II, case number CRB 24730.
All right, ma'am, you're Brittany. Is
Yes,
it-
sir.
Is it Brittany, or how do you pronounce it?
Brittany Cremines.
Brittany Cremines, and sir, you're James Weber II?
Yes.
Okay, you're both charged with assault, and it's alleged that on November the 4th of this year in Union Township, you each committed an assault against the other by knowingly causing or trying to cause physical harm to the other person. That's a first-degree misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 6 months in jail and a $1,000 fine. Do you each understand the charge filed against you?
Yes.
Ma'am, do you understand it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
You both understand the rights I explained defendants have.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How do you each want to plead? You can enter a plea of guilty, not guilty, or no contest. Those are your
I'm not
choices.
guilty.
Not guilty.
All right. And Ms. Cremines, do you want a lawyer appointed to represent you?
I feel like I can represent myself.
Well, you can. You have the right to do that, but a pretty famous guy by the name of Abraham Lincoln once said, anybody that represents themselves has a fool for a client. So I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
And if you're eligible for a court-appointed lawyer, you ought to let me
Okay.
ask you about that. Do you have a job?
Not at the moment.
Okay, well, you're eligible for a court-appointed lawyer, so let's get you one. So we got. Okay. All right, ma'am, I'm going to appoint Mr. Morford to represent you. He's here, coming in the courtroom now. I'm entering a not guilty plea for you.
What?
I'm entering a not guilty plea for you. Mr. Morford, he's going to be your lawyer. These are cross-filing assault charges. She has the charge of assault. Mr. Weber, standing next to you, is the alleged victim. So I'm entering a not guilty plea for her. All right, now, Mr. Weber, what about you? Do you wish to be considered for court-appointed lawyer?
Yes.
Are you working?
No.
You have no income? All right, so we'll have, let's see here, we got cards for. Okay, I'll appoint Roger Smith to represent you, sir. We'll give you a card for him. He is scheduled to be here later today if you want to stick around and talk to him. I'm sorry?
May I ask you a question? Did he resolve his trial?
Oh, I don't know.
He asked me how it was again this morning, Your Honor.
I don't know. I haven't heard from him. He is on the docket today.
Yeah, he had the trial finished as valid.
Okay.
So would you like to make a thing with this young lady, Roger?
No, you're going to represent Ms. Cremines. You can't talk to Mr. Weber because he's adverse. So we'll just apparently Mr. Smith is not going to be here today, so you got his card and you can contact him, Mr. Weber.
Okay.
So I'm entering a not guilty plea for you also. And let's, suppose we have dates for Mr. Smith. Well, let's ask this question. Each of you would have the right for a protection order. In other words, I can order the other person to stay away from you. Do you want that? You want each of you to have mutually restraining orders from the other or not? Is that necessary? It's up to you guys.
I'd like one.
Okay. All right, so you're both, or is that a problem? You're not living together or anything?
No.
Okay. Any reason you have to be around each other?
No, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to order you, just so that there's no allegations of another problem while we're waiting to get back in court. I'm going to order you both to stay away from the other, not go around the other person or contact them. And here, nowadays, this is one of the most important things is, don't post anything about the other person on social media. We want this to die down, not to stir up. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
How about the 30th, December 30th?
I believe I'm here, Judge.
That's,
Okay, Ms. Cremines, is that a bad date for you to come back? That's a
no,
Monday, December 30th.
no.
You can be here then?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Weber?
Yes, sir.
All right. Next hearing is going to be December 30th for both cases, and that'll be a pretrial at 10 a.m. on that date.
Excuse me.
All right, any questions? No questions? Okay. Oh, I didn't have you sign a bond, I don't think. Did either one of you post a bond?
No.
Okay. You can each sign a $1,000 signature bond. What that means is you're just signing a piece of paper that says, I promise to come to court when I'm ordered to. And if I don't come, I have to pay a $1,000 penalty. And you get a warrant for not showing up. So just come to court, you won't have to post any money, as long as you show up. December 30th at 10 o'clock is your next hearing.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Amber Sloan, case number CRB 24729.
And Mr. Carvin was here. I had spoken, and we need to put James Mint on the docket today. James Mint case needs to be placed on the docket. Ma'am, are you Amber Sloan?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Sloan, you have a charge. Have you received a copy of the charge? Okay. The charge alleges aggravated menacing. It alleges that on November the 6th at Perry Township, you knowingly caused Tiffany Labor to believe you would cause, serious physical harm to either her person or her property. That's a first-degree misdemeanor. The maximum penalty is 6 months in jail and a $1,000 fine. You understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
You understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to this charge?
Not guilty.
Do you wish to be considered for a court-appointed lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you working?
Yes.
What do you do?
H&R Block. Manage H&R Block.
Okay, are you paid, how are you paid? Salary, hourly, what?
Hourly,
How much per hour?
$13.
$13 an hour, how many hours a week?
Well, right now, not too much. We might get a day or two in, but we're about to start the season, probably January 2nd is when we come back. And then I work full-time, 40 hours a week.
Well, I have to determine your gross annual income. That's what, the Ohio Supreme Court sets all the rules for me, and that's one of the rules. I gotta determine your gross annual income. So, you know what that is? What do you show in your income tax? You should know, since you do income tax. What's your
Well,
gross annual income?
no, I manage the office, I don't crunch the numbers. But annually,
Yes, your gross amount.
I'll probably, from H&R Block, bring home every 2 weeks around a little bit over 800.
Okay, but I gotta figure, that's your net or the gross?
The gross, yeah.
Well, if you're, a full-time job is roughly 2,000 hours a year. If you work $13 an hour, 26,000, do you have any dependents?
Yeah, I have 2 kids at home.
You're eligible then for a court-appointed lawyer. Steyer? All right, I'm going to appoint Mr. Luke Steyer to represent you I don't think he's on the docket today, but he usually is here, so. So I'm going to appoint him to represent you. There's his card, and you can get in touch with him. I'm entering a not guilty plea for you. Is there a protection order sought on this?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, is it a problem for you to stay away from Tiffany Labor?
No,
You don't live together?
no,
Okay.
no.
I'm entering a protection order for you to stay away, not go around, contact, or post things about that person while the case is pending.
Okay, you just see it. This is here, date, says 12/9. I'll give you a card.
Okay, ma'am, I'm going to set your next hearing for December 27th, Friday, December 27th. It'll be a pretrial at 10 o'clock. And you can sign a $1,000 signature bond. Do you understand what that means?
Yes?
Okay. Do you have any questions?
No.
Be back here December 27th at 10 a.m. Contact Mr. Fryer in the meantime.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Cynthia King, case number TRC 192880, A, B, and C. Cynthia King.
Okay, Ms. King, you had a review hearing a week ago, looks like December 2nd, and you weren't here.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You have an explanation for that?
No, sir, I just had the date wrote down wrong. I've been a cleaner almost 2.5 years, and I still struggle with keeping a schedule and appointments lined out.
All right, you still owe, you've done your community service, it looks like. You still owe some fines.
Yes, sir.
Can you pay anything on your fines today?
I paid $75 this morning.
Okay. You have that? Because it's not in the file. Yes. Oh, the last,
What did you pay online?
Yes, this
Well,
morning.
it won't come through till tomorrow, Your Honor.
okay. All right, January 10th will be your next hearing. And that'll be at 9 o'clock, 9 a.m., January 10th. Put it on the refrigerator.
I need to put it everywhere. Thank
State of
you.
Ohio versus Trevor Fitzpatrick, case number CRB 23232, A and D, TRC 23384.
All right, Mr. Fitzpatrick had a hearing on Friday, it looks like December 6th. He's here today. And the only thing you owe is $85, looks like, and some community service. Can you pay off your fines today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what about your community service?
I'm just gonna have to get that done. I've been working Saturdays, so I'm getting in at least 65, 70 hours a week right now. So it's a little hard. We're on what's called crunch time. So the only days I really have off are Sundays.
Well, you can do it at the animal shelter in Ironton on Sundays. The thing about working there is you got to call and make an appointment with them because they can't take whoever just shows up. They have slots, so if you call them and make an appointment, you can go there and work on Sundays.
Okay.
But you got to get this done. Now, I'm showing you got 22 hours more community service to do. All right, I won't issue a warrant since you came in. Let's give you. Does it matter what day of the week your review hearings are, Mondays or Fridays?
No, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna have to call off, either way.
Okay, let's set it for January the 10th. If you get it done before then, you don't have to show up.
Sounds good.
January 10th, 9 o'clock.
January 10th.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Jalen Johnson, case number TRD 191668.
Johnson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, it looks like this is an old case, but there had been a case that's outstanding since 2019. And now you posted a bond, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The state's alleging that on June the 5th, 2019, at 4:33 p.m. in Perry Township, you were operating a motor vehicle without a driver's license. So that's an unclassified misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 500 hours community service, $1,000 fine. And the state's also alleging you were driving 70 miles an hour in a 55 zone. So that's a minor misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is $150 fine. Do you understand the two charges? Yes?
Yes, Your Honor, sorry.
That's fine. We're making a record, so I need a verbal response. And you understand your rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you plead?
Guilty.
Guilty means you're admitting it's true.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I have a report from the State Highway Patrol Trooper Branham. Says, I was sitting stationary US 52 near milepost 16. Checked the defendant's speed at 70 in a 55 zone. Defendant says she did not realize she'd been speeding. It was later determined the defendant did not have a valid driver's license. And she was given date and time to appear in court. Looks like you failed to appear. So any response you want to make?
I was young and dumb. I've grown a lot since then. I was freshly 18.
Okay.
Didn't really think much of it.
So it looks like you got arrested on the, it took a while, but eventually you got arrested. So trip to the jail and had to post bond, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you learn, if you don't show up in court, usually something bad is going to happen. Right?
Yeah.
So it's better to show up.
Yeah. So I'm here today.
Okay, so do you have a license now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let's see it.
I don't have it on me. I didn't know I was supposed to bring it. I have a license to the state of West Virginia.
Can you get it and bring it to me?
Yeah.
Is it in your car?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll recall. Just go get it and bring it in, and I'll call you back out once you get it. Okay.
State of Ohio versus Christopher Casella, case number TRC 24-2500.
And sir, are you Christopher Casella?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Casella, it's alleged that on December the 5th at 7:16 p.m. in Union Township, you were driving a vehicle while you were under the influence of alcohol. The state is alleging that you took a breath test and tested 175 on the breath test. That's the only charge that you have.
I got a different thing. They said a different court thing. I guess tomorrow or something, and they said that I can take care of both of them today or something.
Can you get what he has? Yeah, it should have been filed here. It should have been placed on the docket today. What's the case number?
TRD 24.
Okay, at the same time, it was alleged that you failed to stop at a stop sign, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And that's case number 24-2490. Yeah, it should have been under the same case number, actually. Okay, so you have both charges pending here. It'll be before me rather than, there's a traffic court. If you get a citation that's not jailable, then it goes to traffic court. This court is for jailable offenses. So, but if you have a case that goes with it that's non-jailable, they come together. So it should have been filed together here. So both cases are going to be on this docket. So you have operating a vehicle intoxicated, and running a stop sign charge are both here.
Okay,
The running a stop sign, maximum penalty is $150 fine.
yes, sir, okay,
On the operating a vehicle intoxicated, that's a first-degree misdemeanor. It carries a maximum penalty of 6 months in jail, $1,075 fine, and a 3-year license suspension. That's the most that can happen if you're found guilty. There is a minimum, which means I can't go below a certain penalty, and the
Yes.
least penalty you can get if you're found guilty on that offense is 3 days in a, well, here, and I'll explain. You got 3 days in jail and 3 days in a treatment program is the minimum, $375 fine, and a 6-month license suspension. That's the minimum. And the reason yours is considered a high test score, there's 2 numbers that are important on the OBI, 8. I'm dropping one of the decimal points, so we're just going to say 8.
okay,
If you test 8 or higher on the breath test, and the state shows compliance with the rules for giving a test, there's a presumption that you're impaired because you tested 8 or higher. State's still alleging you tested 17.5. Here's the other number that's important, 17. If you test 17 or higher, it's considered a high test.
okay,
When you have a high test, even on a first offense, there's where the 3 days in jail comes in. If you're below 17, even on a first offense, there's no mandatory jail. But if you're above 17, then there's a 3-day mandatory jail sentence. So, do you understand all that? And I'm throwing a lot of information at you, but that's the law that pertains to your case.
okay,
You understand the charges?
yes, sir,
You understand the rights you have as a defendant?
yes, sir,
How do you wish to plead to these charges?
guilty,
Okay, and you understand there's a mandatory jail sentence if you enter a guilty plea here.
what about no contest? Would that be?
That's not going to change the
Yeah,
penalty.
Oh,
No contest just means that you're not contested. Guilty means I admit I'm guilty. I did it. No contest is saying to the court, I'm not admitting anything, but I'm not contesting it either. If you think the state has enough evidence to convict me, you can find me guilty without a trial and a lawyer. So in your circumstance, there is even more into the weeds legally, but here's the impact of guilty versus no contest. Guilty is an admission. Remember I said at the beginning of court, admissions are a big deal in the court, in law. So if you admit something in the law, you're stuck with it. So if somebody sues you civilly, if you hurt somebody in this wreck,
yeah,
they can use that guilty plea against you in a civil case to say, he admitted he did this.
oh, I
No
see.
contest plea they can't use because you didn't admit anything. So usually it doesn't make any difference, but if you're going to get sued civilly, it can make a difference. But
Okay,
if you have any questions, remember what I said at the beginning, if you are confused, if you don't understand this, and I've thrown a lot of information at you, and I assume you're not a lawyer,
yeah,
you might be best to talk to a lawyer because you're looking at mandatory jail if you get found guilty of this case.
okay. Because I just been under a lot of stress, I ain't no excuse so, but next week we're losing our house because we got behind on our taxes, and I mean, ain't no excuse or nothing, but I lost my job over this, and
And then the legislature sets the penalties.
yeah,
And the statute says if you are found guilty on a first offense with a test score above 1.7, I have to give you at least 3 days in jail. That's what the people you elected to sit to Columbus said they want the judges to do. So that's what I have to do. So if you have questions, you should talk to a lawyer. This is a big deal. As you know, you say you already lost your job over it, your insurance is going to go up. You know, an OBI is a big deal. So if you're not sure what to do, enter a not guilty plea and talk to a lawyer about it.
okay,
So enter a not guilty plea?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You say you lost your job. Do you have any income now?
no, sir, I was gonna try to find a job, but
Where were you working before?
benefit wholesale in Guyandot. I drove a truck and stuff. We deliver like big air conditioning equipment stuff.
Okay. Well, if you're working as a driver and you get an OBI, that's one of the risks. They probably, good chance you're going to get fired if you have an OBI. So that's what happened to you. So you
Yes.
have no money coming in.
Not right now, no, sir.
Okay, I'll appoint Tyler Smith to represent you.
Okay,
He's here. We'll get him in the courtroom. entered a not guilty plea for you.
Okay.
First offense, OBI with a 175 breath test score.
Okay.
He can sign a $1,500 signature bond.
Okay.
So I'm looking at for pre-trials. The 27th of December or after.
27th is fine.
27th?
Okay.
December 27th will be the next hearing. 10 a.m. Not guilty plea is entered. You have an automatic license suspension since you tested Jody.
Okay.
Talk to Mr. Smith and you're free to go.
Okay, thank you.
When is the next hearing?
December 27th.
State of Ohio recalls Jalen Johnson here at the court, case number TRD 19-1668. Mr. Manager, before we issue this back.
Okay. All right, Mr. Major, bring your license, and you are valid now in West Virginia. Anything else you want to tell me about this, other than you were young and dumb, that's why you didn't come to court?
Your Honor, I'm a 1-year-old now. I work at River Park Hospital. I work in mental health. I've done a lot. I'm a completely different person. I know that doesn't have anything to do with the fact that I did what I did, but I have a license now. I abide by the law. I show up in court. I'm a stay-at-home. I'm mom. You know, I just.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to give you jail time over it, but I feel like there has to be some penalty.
Of course.
And more penalty than you would have got if you would have come when you were supposed to. So,
Fair.
Which you've already got some penalty because you went to jail and had to post a bond. So that's not a great experience, I would say. I would assume you would tell all these folks watching, and we got people on YouTube watching too, come to court when you're supposed to, right?
Yeah. Makes your life easier.
Okay. So on your speeding offense, I'm going to make it a $100 fine, so that's about double probably what it would have been if you'd come back in 2019. And on the no operator's license, I'll make it a $100 fine also. So one court cost. Do you need time to pay?
Please, Your Honor.
Okay, here's the way I'm going to do this. I'm going to give you a final pay date
Okay.
of March the 11th. So I'm not putting you on probation or anything like that, but I'm giving you till March the 11th to pay. And if you don't pay, then the clerk's going to notify the Ohio BMV, they're going to notify the West Virginia DMV, and you'll get a suspended license over it for not paying. So you've got quite a while to pay it. But
Yeah.
Don't, you know, because they hear me say all the time, it's not 7th grade math homework. This is real stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like optional. Like, if I don't do it, nothing's going to happen to me. I'm not going to get in trouble. No, you're going to lose your license if you don't do it. So,
I already got him back once, so I promise it'll be paid.
okay, March the 11th is your final pay date. You don't need to talk to anybody unless you want to. You can, if you forget the date, you can check it online, or you can call the clerk.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Make sure you get it done. Good luck to you.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
We're ready to go to Orange County Jail.
Okay, we're going to the jail for some conference hearings there.
State of Ohio versus Melinda Fuller, case number CRB 24624, CRB 21753, and Leslie Hammond is on deck.
Okay, this is Mr. Stratton's case, and he knew we were going to be doing this today. He's in a jury trial, but we were just trying to get Ms. Fuller into amended reads with a GPS monitor. So who can help me with that?
I can.
Okay.
Will we call down to the jail?
And you're from amended reads?
Yes.
Do you have a bed for her?
Let me check with Charlie real quick.
And Mr. Major, you said there is monitors available?
We do have monitors available, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Fuller, it looks good that we're going to get you in to amended reads today with a GPS monitor. So if that's not going to happen, I'll call you back out, but I think it is going to happen. So I'm going to set your next hearing. You should be going to amended reads today.
Yes, sir.
And let's see, just to make sure that happens, I'm going to put you on my docket for the 16th.
Okay. I want to thank you, sir, for helping me get back into a play.
Okay, well, I know you can do this, you've done it before, so let's take it really serious this time and make it work. Make it last. Okay, we'll see you in a week.
Yes, sir.
State of Ohio versus Leslie A. Hammond, case number CRB 24777. Brian Marksberry is on deck.
And Mr. Morford, you're standing in for Mr. Smith? or-
I am, Your Honor.
He's set for a pretrial today.
Judge, Mr. Hill and I've had some discussion about her, and I believe that he feels there's a need for mental health treatment. And based upon last Friday's appearance, I would concur with that.
So how do we get it done?
Well, if you'll let me go call her, and if you could recall, let me speak with her. Because I didn't know she was back in jail. Last I knew, she was, I think Friday she was supposed to be pink slipped.
Well, there was a discussion about that, but I guess it didn't happen.
Okay.
We thought the jail was going to do that.
Okay.
There's a family member that's here you might want to talk to too. You want to come out and talk to Mr. Fields, sir?
I was actually trying to owe her over the weekend, Your Honor.
Well, I'm the one that has to do that, so.
I understand that the jail was trying to let us get her out, and we didn't want to.
She's Butch. She's in Kentucky. She's in Kentucky. So why don't you talk to her?
The brother.
Okay, we'll recall this later in the docket.
Judge, can I have the correspondence?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Brian Marksberry, case number CRB 24695, CRB 24590, CRA 24362, and Amber Smith is on deck.
Thank you, sir. This is Attorney Tyler Smith's case. He was evaluated by ODP and they wouldn't take him.
That's my understanding, Your Honor. I was hoping to qualify, because that's what we agreed to. I believe on Friday we pled to actually 2 misdemeanors. The felony was amended to a misdemeanor. The plea was just be set for sentencing. This and allow him the opportunity to be assessed. I know he mentioned amended reads as well. I don't know why he didn't qualify.
And Brianna is not going to be here today. There is a representative here from Amended Reads, I think, so. If you want to talk to him.
Brian Marksberry, I believe.
I don't think they've ever evaluated him.
I believe we had him last year, but I'm not sure if anybody evaluated him on Friday. I was out sick Friday.
I don't think they did.
I don't think they did.
I can get someone to do that.
Okay, we'll recall Mr. Marksberry later in the docket.
All right, thank you.
State of Ohio versus Amber Smith, case number CRA 24773, CRB 24774, CRB 22430. Mr. Morton, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, well, let's pass it for now, because I'm busy on the other case.
State of Ohio versus Dijon L. Sullivan, case number CRB 24779. Dijon or Dewan Sullivan?
All right, sir, are you Juwan Sullivan?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan, I'm Judge Capper at the Lawrence County Municipal Court in Chesapeake. This is what's called your arraignment hearing. You're appearing in the courtroom today on a monitor, and it's all being recorded, what I say and what you say. So you have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything. But if you choose to make statements, what you say is recorded and can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney, to have one appointed if you can't afford one. You have a right to bail. You have a right to make the state prove this charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're charged with an assault charge. It's a first-degree misdemeanor under Ohio law. States filed a complaint alleging that on December the 6th, 2024, in Perry Township, you knowingly caused or attempted to cause physical harm to Jeremy Michael Cottrell. That's a first-degree misdemeanor, maximum penalty 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. Do you understand the charge against you?
Yes, sir.
And you do understand your rights?
What is that?
You do understand the rights you have as a defendant?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to this charge?
No contest.
If you enter a no contest plea, you're telling the court, I'm not admitting it's true, but I'm not denying it, and I'm agreeing I can be found guilty.
Yes, sir.
If the state has enough evidence, if the court thinks the state has enough evidence for a conviction. And it will be without you putting up a contest or without you contesting the charge at all or offering any evidence. So if you're not, you wish to be considered for a court-appointed lawyer.
What is that?
You have the money to hire a lawyer.
No, sir. I do not.
You have a job.
No, sir, I do not.
Tyler Smith. I'm going to appoint Tyler Smith to represent you. He's here, so we'll get him in the courtroom. I've got a Mount Gilead, Ohio address for you, Mr. Sullivan, is that right?
No, I used to live with my grandmother now, in Columbus here.
Okay, what's your current address?
4643 Glen Grove Lane.
4643 what?
Glen Grove Lane.
Glen Grove. Columbus.
Yes.
And is there a phone number for you? 492.
Could you repeat that?
419-492-4964, I believe.
What's the state's position on bond for Mr. Sullivan?
It doesn't sound like Mr. Sullivan has to be in the vicinity of Mr. Cottrell, so we'd be okay with no R bond, but we're going to request a protection order.
Is there any reason you can't stay away from Jeremy Cottrell?
No, sir.
Okay, I'm going to order that. You're ordered not to go around Jeremy Cottrell. You're ordered not to contact him, go around him, or post anything about him.
Yes,
release you on a signature bond. So that means you're going to sign a piece of paper that says, I promise to come to court as I'm ordered. If I don't show up, I get a warrant, and you have to pay $2,000 as a penalty for not showing up.
Yes, sir. I have to, I couldn't physically make it to the court. Is there a way to do it like virtually from my home, or would I have to find transportation?
Mr. Hill?
We're not opposed to that unless it comes to, obviously needing him to be here for a trial or something.
Okay, for the initial hearings, you can appear by teleconference. If there's going to be a trial, obviously you have to appear for the trial.
Yes, sir.
So the first hearing, I just set one for you, 27th.
Yes.
So, all right, December 27th, Mr. Smith will get you the login information. Do you have a smartphone or a laptop?
Yes, I do have a smartphone.
Okay, most people
And a laptop.
All right, you can appear by teleconference. It'll be December 27th at 10 o'clock. And you've got the contact information?
Yes. This is your mother's number that you gave?
Which, about the 419?
Yes.
No, that's my phone.
That's okay.
My mother's, do you want my mother's number?
No, I just wanted to...
You better get it because he wasn't sure this was the right number.
Well, that's true. What's your mother's number?
Yes, all right, so, I got the paper right here. You have to fold it. 614-817-9257.
All right, I'll try the first number you gave. If that doesn't work, then I'll try your mother's number.
Okay, you're going to get out on a signature bond today. You got to be in court by teleconference at least on December 27th at 10 a.m. If you don't show up, you'll get a warrant.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Kenny M. Ingalls at the Lawrence County Jail. Case number CRB 24546, CRB 19847, CRA 18517, CRB 18518, CRD 181289.
Okay. And he's represented by Mr. Steyer, looks like. All right, Mr. Ingalls, it's alleged that you failed to appear for a pretrial on November the 15th on multiple cases. And a warrant got issued for your arrest for not... You have a warrant for not appearing in court. Do you understand that?
Wait a second, I can't hear you.
You have warrants for not appearing in court, Mr. Ingalls. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Any explanation you want to give? Your lawyer is not here today. Do you want to make any explanation, or do you want to wait for your lawyer to be here before you make an explanation?
I sent the paperwork in for injured, wasn't able to come. And also you can see I just got out of the hospital like, let's see what's today, Monday. I got out of the hospital, I think, Saturday, for this injury that I have now in my eye, my head, my face. There's no other reason why I don't not be there, so I've always been there.
All right, at this point, I'm going to change your bond to a $1,500 cash or surety bond. You think you can post a bond?
No, I can't. Can you please keep it at the same, because I'm supposed to get the doctor today to get my eyes. See, I got stitches in my eyes. I'm supposed to have my eyes put back on, back in clothes and stuff today.
How'd you get picked up on the warrant?
My sister called, we was arguing over a cigarette. And I was booked up to court. I had a doctor appointment at 10 o'clock for my eye. I just had to call the change, and I can get right up there and change it, if I can get out of jail.
Okay, I'll put you on the docket. I'll put you on the docket for this Friday. That's the 13th, December the 13th, but your bond is going to have to be, you're going to have to post bond now. $1,500 cash or surety.
What cash or surety?
You can use a bail bondsman. So usually that's going to be 10%. You got $150 you can pay a bail bondsman?
No, sir, please keep it to OR.
No, you didn't show up. You didn't show up, so you gotta post a bond. That's it. I've ruled. You gotta post a bond now. December 13th, Friday.
We do have some cases to recall in jail, but we're not ready for that yet.
Okay, so we're finished at the jail for now. We'll come back to them when we have the cases that are being worked on already. So back to the cases here at court now.
State of Ohio versus Timothy Howard, case number TRC 242216 A and B, set for pretrial.
Mr. McCown's case set for pretrial.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Timothy Howard, is he on Zoom?
Your Honor, I thought he was.
You want to call him, or?
Yeah, I thought he was, Your Honor.
There had been a note where he had requested the right to appear by teleconference, and so.
If it please the court, Your Honor, I've already spoken with Mr. Hildon. I think there's some additional discovery they're going to get to us. So we're looking at just continuing it to January 10th, if that would be okay with the court.
Mr. Hill?
That's fine.
All right. At defendant's request, case is continued to January the 10th for a pretrial, 10 a.m. Does he want to appear by teleconference then?
I would presume so, Your Honor. He's not living right here and work obligations. If the court, if that's agreeable to the court, of course.
For a pretrial, you can appear by teleconference.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus Jonathan Benson, case number TRC 241988 A, B, and C.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
This is one of the current pretrial. Allow this to be recessed to the 23rd.
All right, the defendant's request, this case is going to be continued to December 23rd for another pretrial, 10 o'clock.
State of Ohio versus Johnny Brumfield, case number TRC 242408 A and B.
This is Mr. Delauder's case set for pretrial.
Judge, this is one that we also discussed during pretrial conference. Mr. Heald, it's my understanding in this case, is willing to consider amending the charge to reckless operation. However, prior to doing that, he would like Mr. Brumfield to show some good faith in going ahead and completing the DIP school. I've talked to Mr. Brumfield about that. He's more than willing to do that. I don't know if there's availability in the January school yet or not, but if someone's here today, he can talk to them and make arrangements.
Well, I don't know if there's anybody here from the school or not. They're not always here.
Okay. I'll work with him to try to get it done. If you'll give him till January 27th, hopefully I can find one that'll take him before then.
All right, January 27th, at the defendant's request, is a continuance for a pretrial at 10 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
I'll call you after I get out of court and help you.
State of Ohio versus Paul D. Connor, case number CRB 24482.
This is Mr. Delauder's case, Paul Connor, pretrial.
Your Honor, my understanding, Mr. Heald is willing to amend the charge in this case to a violation of 2903.22, which is menacing a misdemeanor of the 4th degree. And in return for that amendment, Mr. Connor intends to enter a plea of no contest with the stipulation to facts sufficient for a guilty plea.
Okay, so that's 2903.22?
Yes, sir.
Jesse, Mezzo, I spoke with him earlier, and he's in consents to this as an agreement.
Is there a recommended sentence?
Yes, Your Honor. It's my understanding Mr. Hill was going to recommend the suspended jail sentence of 30 days, a term of probation with a condition that Mr. Connor not have any contact with Mr. Mezzo.
All right, Mr. Connor, you have a right to make a statement to the court before sentencing if you wish. Do you have anything else to say?
Do you have anything?
All right, I'll accept the amendment and the plea to the amended charge, impose a $100 fine and court costs, 30 days in jail suspended, no contact order with Jesse Mezzo, no community service, 2 years of level 5 probation. Review hearing will be on June the 9th of 25. If you have paid your fines and court costs, you want to appear at that hearing. We'll need to check in with Mr. Major today before he leaves about his probation and get his paperwork.
I'll take him there, Judge. Thanks.
Table I versus Lucas Friend, case number CRB 24322, A, B, C, and D.
I'll talk to you in a minute. Don't leave for your probation. You doing good?
Yeah.
My notes were he's going to be at OVP, outpatient.
Yeah, well, yes, he did complete, last time we were here, Judge, you might recall, he had entered an inpatient place at Harmony Ridge. He had just started, and we set it for today thinking that he would be done by now, and he is. He completed that program when November
29th is what I would have.
November 29th.
November 29th, that's right.
With the anger management certificate also, and that's a cover letter.
Are you back in P treatment?
I got a OVP, but his the doctor had his son's having surgery, so I got to perform on the 12th.
Okay. And now he's back with OVP on an outpatient basis, right? Although he hasn't had a recent appointment because...
The doctor's son had surgery, so I get an appointment on the 12th.
Okay, so this Thursday you're going to OVP?
Yes.
If you recall, Judge, he's got an established relationship with OVP already.
I see there's letters in the file from him.
Okay.
So how are we going to proceed on this?
Well, it's set for sentencing on some cases, and then others were left pending without resolution. I think given his recent success, we would be okay if Mr. Hield wants to come back in a couple weeks to make sure he's followed up with OVP and done everything on that end. It'll also give us an opportunity to speak to the officer that was involved.
Okay. How about in January?
Well, Your Honor, can I tell you what dates I have available? I've got a bad January, but I'm going to be here on the 23rd of December. And then I think I told you earlier, the 30th, I had a hearing, and I do, but it's in probate court, and I don't expect it'll take very long. So I could also be here on December 30th. It might just be a little bit late. And then when you get into January, I've got trials every Monday and Friday until the 27th. I'm okay with any of those days.
You want to do the 30th?
The one thing that we want to do, Your Honor, is when it comes time for the sentence, I want the deputy who arrested Mr. Friend to be able to be present, because he, when this first started, was a little bit sore with us at the prosecutor's office because he felt that maybe there should have been a more serious charge. I want him to be able to express himself on this, because I still believe that, there was some justification for that. However, we're also pleased that Mr. friend has made such great progress in his treatment, I'm sure he feels better about his life now too. So I want to know definitely that that's going to be the day before we ask the deputy to be here. So I don't care if we come back on the 30th, but we would want, since that's during the holidays, I don't know about the deputy's schedule and things of that nature.
Is going up till the 27th of January too long for the court or the state?
That doesn't offend us.
Okay, we'll go do that.
Okay.
In the meantime, though, he's going to be ordered to continue with OVP with outpatient counseling.
You got that?
Yes.
And I will, I'll make a note that we'll have the deputy here on that day. And maybe it would be a day that we can resolve things.
All right, January 27th will be the next hearing. Pre-trial, 10 o'clock.
Okay, thank you, Alan.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Glad you
State of Ohio versus Antonio Gallegos, case number TRC 2792, A, B, C, and D.
Mr. Delauder is representing Mr. Gallegos.
I am, Your Honor, and he's on Zoom. I see him there.
Yes.
I was unable to contact him before coming in here. I think we're going to have this case resolved. If you will, I don't know if you'll allow me to do this or not, but if we could come back on the 23rd on this, I can talk to him and his wife between now and then and try to make arrangements for him to get back up here, because after discussions with the court, there's going to be some things Mr. Gallegos will need to be able to do to make sure he doesn't get in any more trouble.
Is that the only day you can be in December?
The 23rd or the 30th.
30th.
I'll be a little bit late on the 30th.
30th is much better. December 30th will be the next hearing for Mr. Gallegos.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Antonio, I'll call you when I get out of court later this afternoon, okay?
State of Ohio versus Joshua Brew, case number TRC 242348, A and B.
Mr. Delauder's case, pre-trial. Was there an improper handling?
There is, Judge. It's in the same file. I believe it's in the same folder.
I don't, well, if it is, it's not marked on the outside.
I have CRA 24743.
It's in there, it's just not marked on the file.
Might have 1 minute.
File, and I can't remember what we talked about. So, and we'll agree to the other on the gun if he's successful. Okay.
So, Your Honor, I think we have, if I could have one now. Your Honor, I think we have a preliminary resolution to this. This is charged as a first offense OVI. However, the breath score in the case is fairly, very high breath score. So Mr. Heald has indicated that he would be agreeable to allow Mr. Grube to plead guilty to the OVI offense and then come back for sentencing on a later date. Mr. Grube has been assessed by a organization called TASC of Southeast Ohio. That's in his home county of Gallia. It's through the health department there, and I believe they're a reputable provider in Gallia County, although I've not had any interaction with them prior to this case. He brought me a letter to that effect showing that he has been assessed by them and does qualify for some services for mild alcohol use disorder. So I think what Mr. Heald would like to have happen is for Mr. Grube to enter a plea to the OVI today. And then the firearm charge, as long as Mr. Grube does what he has suggested that he will do, in this case, I think Mr. Heald's agreeable to dismiss that charge on forfeiture of the firearm that was involved. Mr. Grube has no prior record.
Okay, so it's my understanding, I'm reading into this, that will happen down the road after
Yes.
After he's compliant?
Yes, so it'll just stay pending, if that's okay with the court, until we come back for sentencing. And I don't anticipate there to be a real extensive amount of counseling in this case. They diagnosed him with mild alcohol use disorder. In my discussions with him, I don't believe he consumes that often. However, on this occasion, he appears to have consumed a large amount.
Okay, so he's going to enter a guilty plea today?
That's what I understand Mr. Heald would like, and that's fine with Mr. Grube.
And that's to the OVI and the failure to control?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And the improper handling will remain pending?
That's correct.
Do you agree with that, Mr. Grube?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. What I'd like for him to do, just so I can get a baseline on it today, is to do a urine screen.
Okay.
Let's do a urine screen today and see what it shows, and then have him come back in and we'll decide how we're going to go forward after I see what the urine screen shows.
There's also been 2 negatives with TASC, the initial assessment, and then I had a counseling, so those have been negative as well. But yeah, I can do that today.
Does he need to see anybody? Okay, go with him. He wanted me to tell you, Judge, he also, with TASC, he was screened when he did his assessment, and then he's had 1 session with them when he was also screened, so he has those 2 if you would like to see those as well.
Yeah, I'll need to see reports from them as to what they're doing.
Understood.
State of Ohio versus Kevin A. Hardy, case number CRB 24298.
I have this as a 90-day with costs, please.
That's my understanding, Your Honor, and Mr. Hardy's prepared to pay the court costs today. He indicates there haven't been any further problems.
And we're in agreement with that, Your Honor.
All right, he's going to pay court costs today. See the clerk pay the costs and be dismissed. Clerk's to the right, you leave court.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. You know where to go?
Yeah, to the right.
Yeah, that one, I'll take just as soon as they,
State of Ohio versus Heather Humphrey, case number TRC 241981.
Mr. DeLauder is representing Ms. Humphrey, is that for a pretrial?
Yeah, may we approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Judge, based on discussions with the state in this case and a very peculiar set of facts and circumstances, it's my understanding the state of Ohio is willing to reduce this charge to an OVI of the first offense OVI. To that offense, my client would be willing to enter a guilty plea.
Is that correct, Ms. Humphrey?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any statement or explanation you wish to make? You have a right to make one.
I just apologize for my actions. You know, I have learned from my previous mistake. And thank you all for your consideration regarding my situation.
Okay. Do you have insurance?
Yes.
Okay, I'll impose a $375 fine, that's the minimum. Order you to pay the court costs, you'll get a 6-month license suspension, and there was no test here, right?
There was not, Your Honor.
So the suspension has to start now.
It wasn't a refusal, it's just there was no test.
Okay. She can have unlimited driving privileges with the blow and go device or unlimited driving privileges without. Which does she wish?
Limited driving privileges currently, Your Honor, and then if she changes her mind and wants to make arrangements, otherwise I'll contact the court and we'll see what we do.
Okay, she can have driving privileges for work, community service, go to the 3-day school, anything else that you need. Driving privileges for?
I mean, I have to go to UPS for work. Is that's acceptable? And then,
As long as you're driving for work.
yes, it is. It'll have built-in on the UPS stuff. Along with, my living situation is very temporary, so I would like to look for places to live. I mean, I could try to see if my family members could take me to and from.
Mr. Hill?
You mean like you need to have that privilege in order to look for a place to live? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because basically I'm technically homeless because of this situation. I don't have any belongings. I'm trying to start over.
It wouldn't matter to us, Your Honor. I don't know how to structure that. It sounds like she needs to find a place to live.
All right, I'll give her extended for finding a residence, I guess would be the way. Here's what's going to happen. You'll have a judgment entry from me saying that you can drive for these reasons. If you get stopped, I mean, you're going to have a lot to explain to because it's going to show up on your record that you're suspended. So, as I tell people, the best thing to do is don't get stopped.
Yes.
And that's pretty easy to do if you use your turn signal, obey the traffic laws, obey the speed limit. You're not going to get pulled over. If you get pulled over, you're going to have some explaining to do, and you're going to have this permit that says you can drive. So,
That's interesting.
there you go. You get that from your probation officer. She has to do 3 days community service, go to the 3 days, I say 3 days, 5 days community service, 3 days school, the driver intervention program. And her review hearing will be June 9th at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. See Mr. Major about your probation, and he'll give you paperwork, and he'll give you the permit.
Okay,
and
thank
you're free to
you.
go after that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
I'll meet you out there.
State of Ohio versus Norman Thurman, case number TRC 24-1950, A and B.
Mr. Delilah's case, pretrial on motion to suppress is what I have.
It is, Your Honor. So I went over the discovery in the case. I don't believe there are any items that need to be suppressed with the exception of the HGN, potentially. I think we may be able to get this matter resolved. I haven't yet sat down with Mr. Thurman to go over the video and the rest of the evidence with him, but I think if you'll allow us to have one more pretrial on this, we can probably bring it to resolution.
That 30th date,
That's fine, yes.
December 30th,
Can you be here on January 30th?
pretrial, 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio recalls Joshua Drew, case number TRC 24-2348, A
I'll
and B.
meet you right out there.
Okay, he had a good test, so we'll proceed on the basis that was discussed with his counseling at TASC, I believe is the name of the agency.
TASC. I've got a initial letter from them, Judge. Would you like this so you've got it?
Yes.
You know who they are.
Yes. Okay. Let's use that January 27th date, then. Come back.
Yes, that's fine, Judge. In the meantime, this is a first offense. Mr. Grube has now, that's the third consecutive test here that he's taken. I know you don't have the prior two, but he indicates that he's taken 2 for tasks that have been negative for substances as well. And more than 15 days have passed since this stop. Would you have any objection to giving him occupational privileges while this case is pending?
Mr. Hill.
If it's been the requisite amount of time, we would disagree with that.
All right. Prepare an entry.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus James D. Dement, case number CRB 24-635, CRA 24-240, PRD 23-1859, A and B.
This is Tyler Smith's case. It was added to the docket, and you're probably not even aware of it.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Dement has been at the counseling center for a little while, inpatient counseling. It's reported that it's his mother-in-law that is in hospital, had last illness in the time of the past. So he was given leave to go to the hospital. She's still in the hospital, so I just told him I want to put this on the record and see what the team there at the counseling center was recommending as far as his staying out of treatment when he come back.
The last message that I just received was from one of the clinical folks stating that she had just told him to stay in contact and call every 2 hours. There has been no definitive date or time at this point, which I'm going to reach out once I get out and am able to make a phone call to see if their plans are to allow him, as long as you're okay with him staying out until she does pass, or if we're going to set a time for him to come back in the event that she does not pass.
Well, let's put it back on the docket for December the 13th. I'll let the guidance folks make the decision between now and then. If they want him to come back, they can tell him that. But just, are you here on the 13th, Mr.?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's put it on the docket for the 13th. And as a pretrial,
I'll notify the court, Your Honor, immediately with any details once I receive them.
and let's let Mr. Dement know too that he needs to stay in touch with his attorney and the court.
We have a trial.
December 13th will be the next hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You are.
State of Ohio versus Einer Smith, case number CRA 24621.
Mr. Smith's case. Mr. Smith is an OVP, I believe. I think I do have a message about
I do have some certificates.
Okay. Okay, can we get copies of these? And he's scheduled for OVP this Thursday. Is this my copy? Or you want, I can have a copy?
Yeah, if you want to have a copy made, that'd be cool.
Okay. Need Mr. Cooper to copy that also. Okay, and this is, are we ready to conclude this? It was amended to misdemeanor in the past.
He pled previously, and we agreed that if he was successful in treatment, we would recommend no actual imposition of jail time. So if it's time to sentence him, we would.
This just happened in September, so I think we could wait a little while longer.
Yeah, you're just now starting outpatient with everything.
No, I was doing it before I went. I was doing outpatient with OVP before I went into.
Let's get a little time in with OVP and see how he does there. So we can even wait maybe a couple months before we come back.
That's fine, Your Honor.
1st of February. And usually Ms. Dementis here can give us a report. She's not here today. So we can put him on the sentencing docket and make it 7th, February 7th.
February 7th?
Yes, you available then?
Yes, Your Honor.
February 7th will be the next one.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus Russell A. Severance, case number CRB 24543. Russell Severance.
Mr. Wilford's case. He was at the counseling center. My last record.
That's my last knowledge of him, Judge.
I think he left.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Russell Severance, I believe he left the counseling center.
Yes, Your Honor. On December 29th, Russell went ASA against staff advice.
November 29th?
Yes. Yes, sorry.
November
29th. Yep.
Okay. Warrants from here, it's a misdemeanor, so you'll get a bench warrant for failure to appear.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
State of Ohio versus David Vance, case number CRB 24401. David Vance.
My notes were this would be dismissed if there was no further problems and the costs were paid, the costs have been paid.
And, yeah, we're okay with the dismissal.
It'll be dismissed.
Your Honor, I wanted also to make sure that we kept track of another charge that he has pending, which is OVI, endangering children and failure to...
Is that on the docket for today?
No, it's on for the 20th, I guess.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I don't represent him in those matters. Did you say Roger?
yes.
Counsel for that.
State of Ohio versus Stephen Wilson, case number CRB 24-172, A and B.
Stephen Wilson is represented by Mr. Morford. I got a text from Leslie saying he had finished it, Sean.
Yes, Judge.
Is this his to keep? Yeah, he can keep.
All right, thank you. He's got a certificate of completion, 27 November. What's the plan now?
Well, I moved back to Kentucky. I'm on probation over there. Get my community service worked off and continue with my life.
What's your new address?
What's the state want to do with the charges here? We got A and B charge.
Satisfied?
I think both are domestic.
And your son's my son's at Miscellaneous. Oh, gosh, I did not know that. I'm so sorry.
Priscilla Carter, we're both same victim. 2 counts. Priscilla Carter is the D case. What's the A?
Yeah, he's not, he's good with everything. He's just, it's sugar. And he was looking has it Saturday. So, I had to get him to the
Is he in the hospital?
He's on ventilator. So you know your person. Where that person. What's your new address, person?
So Ms. Carter's here. She's one of the victims in this matter. She
Bring it
says
back.
that Stephen's doing very well. She no longer wishes to pursue this. She's also able to speak on behalf of Aaron, who's in the hospital. He's had a serious medical condition that's occurred.
It's her son.
Is that another relative? Or who's there?
Her son.
My son.
Yeah. Anyway, she'll speak on his behalf as well, and he doesn't want to pursue it any further either. So since Mr. Wilson has done so well, we're happy that we can ask to dismiss the charges.
All right, congratulations, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you,
Case
Mr.
here is
Captain.
completed. Good
Thank
luck to you, sir.
Thank you for saying.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
We're ready to go back to Orange County Jail.
Okay, we're back to the jail to finish up some cases.
State of Ohio versus Leslie A. Hammond, case number CRB 24777. Brian Marksberry's on deck.
Mr. Morford is standing in for Mr. Smith today.
Could we approach, Judge?
Yes. Well, you should know. You discussed that with you too. Makes you really want to cry about that. I mean, the people who can't hear it.
She will, but that's information. That's not none of the things she has tonight. She is being seen at the present time about some administrative. I'm not sure she's back. get her into treatment. For,
That's my understanding. She got flatwoods where ARC is a good option to get her in there. They have an inpatient Does anyone have connections with ARC in Belfont? Why don't you speak with Bob? All right, we'll recall this case later in the docket.
State of Ohio versus Brian Marksberry, case number CRB 24695, CRB 24590, CRA 24362, and Amber Smith is on deck.
It doesn't appear that Admitted Reeds is able to take them either, Your Honor. So I am, Mr. Madross may be aware of Mr. Marksberry being on probation in Moore County. Is that correct, Mr. Marksberry?
Yes, sir.
And so that may be an issue too, of whether
They have a holder on.
they don't have a holder on them. I just don't know. But I know Mr. Major said he was going to call Moore County probation, and they haven't returned a phone call. At this point, I don't know if we just get a bond and see what they want to do. I don't know what else to.
He was aware I was in treatment for my probation officer, aware.
Right, but you're not in treatment now, so I don't know if they have any indication of what they do. And there's no treatment provider that can take you.
Can I ask what's the stumbling block there? This is the second provider said they couldn't take him.
My director informed me that due to his behavior issues, when we had him in the program of 2023, they will not readmit him.
All right.
I apologize for that, Your Honor.
Was that the reason why AVP couldn't take him also?
That I don't know. I just know they said they wouldn't. Be
Right.
taking him.
I know that they were treating him for anger management, was separate from what Hometown was treating for, but I don't know if it's the same issue or the Moore County issue.
Well, at this point, I think we need to hear back from Morrow County as to what they're wanting to do. Let's put it off and have Mr. Major make another call, see if we can get someone up there to talk with.
That's fine, Your Honor.
Now, on Wesley Hammond, is someone going to call ARC or what? Mr. Morford?
I'm sorry, Judge.
Are you and Mr. Gwen going to talk about Wesley Hammond or what's going to happen?
I don't know, Judge.
Well, I thought you were all going to try to get in touch with ARC.
I would have talked to Bobby, but I've got the case coming up, Judge.
Okay.
That's why I didn't go immediately.
All right, let's go ahead and do that.
State of Ohio versus Amber Smith at Lawrence County Jail, case number CRA 24773, CRB 24774, CRB 22430.
All right, this is Mr. Morford's case. She's got an old case and a newer case. The old case is a theft offense from Goodwill.
Judge, this is a lady we're going to need to get assessed. She's amenable to treatment.
West Virginia resident. Smith, you are do you have a West Virginia medical card?
She's unsure of the status of that, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, do we have any places lined up for her to go to?
No, not yet, Judge. I was hoping you could direct.
Well, ODP will take West Virginia. I don't know if anyone else would switch her over to Ohio.
Anybody available for a West Virginia resident?
Brianna's not here today, but she said she's available by phone.
I was going to ask you if I could call her, Judge. And
You have her contact?
I believe so.
Okay, we'll recall this later in the docket.
Thank you, Judge.
And then there's 20.
Okay, and do you need Leslie Hammond's file, or do you have the file?
One who?
Hammond.
I don't have a file, Judge. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, I've got that entry related to driving privileges.
Yes.
State of Ohio versus Jessica Baisden, here at the court, case number CRB 24-715.
All right, Ms. Basin, do you have an attorney representing you?
No, I need a court-appointed one.
Are you working? You have no income?
John Basin.
How's the state want to proceed on this?
So, at this point, Mr. Baisden needs to get his stuff, so I don't know if there's, was Ms. Baisden appointed an attorney?
Not yet, I just want to see if the state still wanted to proceed.
Yes.
Okay, let's appoint Mr. Steyer. So she's in the home? She's residing in the home?
Yes.
There's no issue with that?
No,
Are children involved here, or?
I have, yes, we do have children. I have a first divorce hearing coming this week that I filed for.
So there is a divorce pending?
I filed it, yes.
Do you have an attorney in that?
No.
You filed it yourself? Okay, I'll appoint Mr. Steyer to represent you. What things do you need, Mr. Basin?
I'd like to have some of my clothes, at least. Clothes and some of my tools to work with.
Any objection to that, ma'am?
Sir, we live in my parents' home with them, and I'm still staying there, but they do not wish for him to be there, but he left September the 20th, the day before our daughter's birthday party, and took everything, took our only vehicle, everything. That's why I'm doing the divorce proceedings now.
Well, what, does he have clothes there and tools?
There's nothing there. They can even vouch and witness for that.
Okay. Well, since there is a divorce pending, I'm going to leave it up to the divorcer. You need That's one of the issues you can work out in the divorce. I've appointed her a lawyer for the domestic violence. And it sounds like we need to come back pretty quickly. So let's look in the next week or so when we can get back to it. Okay, we could do the 16th or the 20th of December.
I have a hearing with the other court the 18th.
Okay, probably the 20th is better, so what's that hearing about, a protection order or what?
No, it's just the starting first hearing of the divorce court.
State have any input on what days? Years?
Is the 20th of December okay with you? That's, the
20th.
20th is fine, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, your next hearing is going to be December 20th for a pretrial at 10 o'clock. You need to get in touch with Mr. Steyer. Anything else that needs to be addressed?
Thank you.
Mr. Hill, anything?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Anything else that needs addressed?
I don't believe so at this time, Your Honor. There's already a protection order in place, so if it needs to be addressed at a later date, we can do that.
Okay, next hearing, December 20th, 10 o'clock.
State of Ohio versus Danielle Hall, case number TRD 22-175, TRC 21-371, A, B, and C, CRB 21-103.
All right, we've already done a screen and it looks appropriate. Is that RS? Okay, are you going to continue with your outpatient treatment then, or?
I'm sorry, continue with the outpatient treatment?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm already at, going down for the methadone clinic. I have the issue with the payment because I have to pay cash at the other clinic and then pay cash at this clinic as well. So, with
Okay.
Christmas time, I've been working a lot to try to get some extra money for the Christmas and plus to help pay for the treatment as well.
All right. I'll relieve you from the obligation of doing any more with IRS.
Appreciate that, Your Honor.
You still have to do your community service.
Yes, I think like 2 days left, I think.
I'm showing 5, but maybe it hasn't been updated. I'm
Yeah.
not showing, have you done some days?
I just done one Monday, I done one,
That would be-
yeah, I've got my community sheet, from where I've been going to the dog shelter as well.
Okay.
Should have 2 left.
I'll set your next hearing. In January. What's
Okay.
best for your work schedule?
Mondays or Fridays is fine.
Okay. January 20, well, this is sentencing, right? So on pretrial or something? Pretrial. All right, January 27th.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
I saw it.
State of Ohio versus Kelly T, case number CRA 24491.
Okay, she is appearing by teleconference. Mr. DeWaters, the attorney, we're looking for a report on her treatment.
She brought me, Your Honor, some more detailed treatment records from her treatment with Phoenix House in Florida, from some of her individual appointments. I can provide a copy of that to the court. However, it's got personal information in it, so I'd ask it not be made public, but would you like me to provide this? And she's still in treatment there, Judge. You'll notice in those records, the last record you have there is from November 20th. However, she has seen them since that day. Kelly, when's the last time you saw them? Today?
Yes, so today I have a individual with my counselor on this Thursday at 3 p.m. and then every Monday I got a group at 7 p.m. and then testing, of course. And I tested last week. I haven't tested, well, today's the first day of the week, so I haven't tested this week yet, but I tested last week and then was in group last week as well.
Excuse me. State's position.
Well, I haven't seen the records, but assuming that they're adequate.
Well, I don't know anything about this agency or.
I know they had an awarding for the best treatment center in the area for so many years and this and that. I know like most of the people that are in court down here, this is the place that they get sent to as well. And it's a DOC program as well too. My counselor was out.
Hey, Kelly, can you stop talking for a minute?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Seems like it's kind of vague. Maybe if you could talk to them and get something more specific, or something to get some more information about that program too. So, Your Honor, and I've had a chance to review the notes from the counseling agency, and it's a little thin on substance, I believe. And so I've encouraged Mr. DeLauder to help Ms. Key get something a little more substantial that might help us to see, I don't know, I didn't see any like actual drug screen results and that kind of thing. I think it would be beneficial. we want her to continue in that, and if they're willing to waive time, we're okay with coming back, and I guess Mr. DeLauder has cases on January 27th, so we'd be okay with that.
Is she gonna be back in this area at any time?
She has no contacts here anymore. She did have an uncle that lived here that died, so she hasn't been back since then. Kelly, do you have any plans to be back here for anything anytime soon?
Not for sure, but I could possibly come up there after Christmas sometime. If need be, I could maybe make it work for when the next time I'm coming to, like, next time for court. If need be, I can come in.
Okay. So, sounds like she doesn't have any reason to, Judge, but she will if you want her to.
Well, I thought she had some contacts. You're still in Ironton, so that she may be coming in over the holidays or sometime around then. All right, January 27th be the next one.
Hey, Kelly, call me this afternoon. I got to talk to you about what kind of an update we need from your treatment provider, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'll talk to you this afternoon.
All right, thank you.
State of Ohio versus Jordan Maynard, case number CRA 24-427. It's also on the agenda. Jordan Maynard.
Can you hear me? Well, I can now. Okay, so there was an order with regard to restitution. There's been $200 paid out of $2,700. The initial agreement was it was all going to be paid before October 21st.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
So you guys last week they told me to send a check in, and when I did, it got returned to sender. I had the address and everything, but the check's sitting right here, and I can give the address that you guys told me to send it to, and it says return to sender.
Well, I don't think we would have told you to mail a check to anybody but the court, and not, we have to have a certified check or cashier's check.
Yeah, I wrote a check to, I'll give you the address now. I wrote an address to 115 South 5th Street, Ironton, Ohio, 45638, United States.
That's the county jail.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, you should, no, just tear that check up. That's not going to work for restitution. Do you have the restitution amount to pay?
Yeah, I had $2,000 of it like the last fall, and then I told you I only had to owe you guys, I think it was like $400 or $500 left after that, which would be waiting for.
I don't know who you talked to, but you don't, apparently you sent it to the jail. Who was the check made out to?
It was made out to Restitution, I've never wrote a check my first time.
Okay, color me skeptical on this whole story, but look, unless the state wants to take it to the grand jury now, I can give you, this is going to be your final chance to get this done. If it didn't get done, it's not staying in this court. It's going to go on to the grand jury, and you can deal with one of the common police judges.
Okay, so then, can I?
So here's, okay, listen up. Stop talking and start listening. You need to send a certified or cashier's check to the clerk of Lawrence County Municipal Court for the restitution amount.
What's it called? What's the address?
Clerk, I didn't give you an address. Write this down. Clerk of Lawrence County Municipal Court.
Lawrence County Municipal
Now the address, 10916.
10916.
Yes, County Road 1.
County Road 1.
Chesapeake, Ohio.
Chesapeake.
45619.
Can you please repeat that?
45619.
All right, I got that. So send a cashier's check to that place.
Yeah, do you know how to get a cashier's check?
Well, you gotta come last time, go to a bank, right?
Yeah, same bank that you've got your checking account. Apparently you got a checking account. You go there and you talk to one of the tellers and you say, I need a cashier's check. And if you have the money, they'll issue a check that means this check is good. Because if you just write a hand check, we don't know if the money's there or not. We don't take personal checks. So you'll get a cashier's check from the bank, put it in an envelope. The check has to be made out the way I told you. Send it to the address. And then that's going to take care of your restitution. So at this point, you owe $2,500. You paid $200 on October the 15th, so you still owe $2,500 restitution. Mr. Eden.
So what we need, Your Honor, in order to not take this to the grand jury is for the court to receive that check by this Friday, which means he should send it overnight or second day or something.
Did you hear that, sir?
By this Friday?
Yes. If you have the money, it should not be a problem.
Right, it's not the money, it's the time situation. I'm already taking time for work and I'm not fired.
Well, let's just do this. Let's just take it to the grand jury now. It's going to be dismissed to the grand jury, sir. It's not like the grand jury. You'll hear from the grand jury. You're going to get indicted by the grand jury.
So
You're
Friday,
done.
so Friday I have to write the check?
No, you're done. Your case is over. Your case is going to the grand jury. You're going to get indicted for felony theft. You were supposed to do this by October, and it's now December, and you haven't done it, and now you're complaining you don't have enough time. So your case is going to go to the grand jury. You're going to be indicted, so you can deal with the other court in your indictment. Next case.
State of Ohio versus Michael J. Wood, case number TRC 24-436, A, B, and C.
Yes. It's Mr. DeWaters' case.
It is, Your Honor, and that's just an update I provided you. Mr. Wood continues to do well in treatment. He's also recently started He's also recently started taking advantage of some more services they offer there at King's Daughters, but not reflected in this update. His next appointment with them is Thursday, he tells me. If you remember, Judge, from a little bit of history here, Mr. Wood had been originally in treatment with Pathways in this case, and I think King's Daughters offered a little bit better tailored service, more beneficial to some of the things he was dealing with. He didn't part ways on bad terms with Pathways or anything. I think just everyone thought it was best for him to go to King's Daughters.
Okay, well, how are we gonna, this case has been pending for a while. So
It's been pending for a very long time, Your
we
Honor.
need to figure out how it's gonna get resolved.
So we don't have any, we're okay with proceeding with sentencing or not. If the court would like to see continued good progress, then that's okay, or the state. If everyone would like to go ahead and wrap this up one way or another, that is okay too.
Okay. He pled back in June
Yes, sir.
with a test score of 25 and 2 priors.
Yes, sir.
What's the state's recommendation on
And I think we made it clear from the beginning that he was really going to have to excel in treatment for us to not recommend that he spend some time in jail. At this point, and I don't know if there was a written report that was presented today or what's going on there, but it's probably a situation where he's still going to need to have a few days in jail. And complete the treatment.
Well, treatment would have to be a part of the sentence regardless, so. Mr. Dwyer?
Your Honor, that's been the discussion that Mr. Hill and I have had all along in this case. Can I have just one moment to speak with my client?
Did we get a written report this time?
I gave it to the court.
It doesn't have a whole lot in it. One thing I'd like for him to do, let's do a hearing screen here.
Okay.
Let's do a hearing screen here and then come back.
Okay. Take him to probation.
Yeah, they'll do it. Okay, we're ready for the next case.
State of Ohio versus Garrett Hosey, case number TRD 24742, TRD 231844.
It's Mr. Smith's case. Set for sentence.
I'll be able to do community service.
He's sentenced, but are you in?
That's for something else. Margaret will just give it to me.
No, it's just insurance.
Yeah.
I'm talking about treatment. Where are you?
Right now I'm talking to my path integrated health. If I could go back into rehab.
Where is it?
I'm talking to my path counselors.
Oh, PATH?
Yes. I have case management. I just talked to him. Cool.
All right. Honor, I believe with Mr. Hosey, he just advised me that I guess he's talking with
Path and they're going to help me.
Path to do counseling. His case manager's Glenn.
He was at Southern Hope. Had a report from them.
Yes, I was at Southern Hope. I could go back if I needed to.
Well, he's just got, these are 2 driving under suspensions.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there any reason why you left Southern Hope?
Path could help with the counseling. I was just going to see if I still needed it, but no, I was there for 5 days.
Oh, okay.
I would do community service.
Yeah.
What happened at Southern Hope?
Nothing happened, sir.
He just started there. I had a letter saying he started there November 21st. So it hadn't even been a month yet.
So
have you been to Path before?
Yes.
So you're just trying to get back?
Apparently you left.
No, I haven't done this program through Path.
Did you leave? Did you just leave, or did they?
I was never enrolled, so.
You just had an assessment there?
Yes.
Okay.
I was never assessed in the Southern Hope.
Okay, well, I've got a letter dated November 22nd. It says this client was admitted into our facility on November 21st, 2024. Client resides at 186 Township Road, 1025 South. Client is unemployed. We are providing the following services, and gives a list of stuff. Client will be encouraged to pay rent. Rent is $200. Client is not responsible for utilities. And that's what the letter says. I mean, is that wrong, or?
So why aren't you at Southern Hope now? Is what he's saying.
I just called them to enroll. The house is full, but I could go back to Southern Hope, yes. And I could do that. Have them call you.
Well, he's got, from all I can see, unless there's something else of the file I didn't receive today. These are 2 non-jailable driving under suspension. One's without a license and one's under suspension. Is that right? Is there anything else? He's got another case set for December 18th, right? But it's a traffic case too. Is that right? Did I see that right? Go back to the 24 case, the traffic 24 cases. There was another one.
Temporary permits done, and then this
Okay.
is this one right here.
23-1844, that's that.
Yes. And then the bump for Richard Gary was at 1216. Looks like that was on 1122.
Approach, Your Honor.
Yes.
Oh, Morgan.
Okay. I'm saying read it if you're driving it out. Good. I mean, I didn't even find it here, so I think you put it on. All right, I'm going to go ahead and sentence Mr. Hosey. There's no jailable offense here, so on 23/18/44, I don't even have, the officer didn't, as far as I can tell, file a report, but it just says he was driving without a license in Perry Township. So I'll impose a $50 fine on that. No, there's no jail time. $50 fine and court costs. That's it. You can give him a final payday. He doesn't have a license, but he'll get another suspension of March the 11th, 25. So if he wants to get his license back, he's got to take care of these. And 24/7/42 was driving under suspension, but it's a non-jailable variety. I should have asked him, anything you want to say about any of this?
No, sir.
Okay. And let's see if I got a report. I do. I observed the vehicle pass my patrol car on County Road 1. Vehicle pulled into a private drive in a residence. As I conducted the computer check showed defendant had a warrant through OSP, was driving under suspension. I waited in a nearby parking area, observed the defendant pull out of residence and sit at the stop sign on the private drive for a few minutes, approached the vehicle and did a traffic stop. All right, $50 fine on that also. Court costs, also final pay date of March 11th, 25. And I would suggest you go back to PATH if you're having some difficulties, and that's probably a good option for you.
All right. Make sure you paid for the 11. Okay.
State of Ohio recalls Brian Marksberry at the Lawrence County Jail, case number CRB 24695, CRB 24590, and CRA 24362.
All right, this is Mr. Smith's case, set for pre-trial. And we were trying to get in touch with Morrow County.
Yes, I talked with Mr. Major. He said that Warren County has indeed issued a warrant. I don't know if he's been served with a warrant yet or not. So that would change it to extradition, maybe.
There'll be a Rule 4.
It looks like there'll be a Rule 4 if they're saying, I don't know what probation or the judge will do in Warren County, but it looks like they want to pick him up.
Okay. Mr. Major?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, was doing something else. I didn't hear what was
Mr.
said.
Marksberry, I understand he has a warrant out of Morrow County.
He does, Your Honor. When I contacted the probation up there, they've issued a warrant for his arrest due to him being kicked out of the program that he was in. The Sheriff Department does have confirmation of that. I don't know if they have a copy of the warrant yet to have him brought before the court on that. But it is full extraditable. From my understanding is when he gets back up there, he may have to do the rest of his time that he has on the books up there.
Okay, let's put it, are you here Friday?
I am here Friday.
Put it on then, it probably will be arraignment on the Rule 4 issue to Morrow County. So that will keep him in jail. Can't go out to treatment at this point anyway. So December 13th be the next hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We still have 2 more to recall, but we're not ready to do those yet.
Okay.
State of Ohio versus Michael J. Wood, or recall here at the court, case number TRC 24436, A, B, and C.
Okay, you had a good screen.
Judge, I talked to Mr. Heald a little bit in pretrial about this case, and then I also talked to him again following some of your comments earlier on the record. I think given Mr. Wood's success over the past year, I think we can make a joint recommendation to resolve this today, if you care to hear what we're thinking.
So there's already, just for the record, there's already been a plea entered sometime ago,
Yes, sir.
I believe in June. We've allowed him to go to treatment, and I think it's, in the case is from March, originated in March of 2024, so been quite a bit of time passed, so go ahead.
Your Honor, I think based on the circumstances here, Mr. Heald's willing to recommend a sentence of 90 days in Lawrence County Jail with 85 of those days suspended, and a term, along with other sanctions that the court may impose, one specific term of probation in this case, that Mr. Wood continue with his treatment at King's Daughters and provide the probation department and court with updates in that regard. I've talked to Mr. Wood about that recommendation, and he understands that given the circumstances, earning his way out of all jail time is going to nearly impossible here.
Okay. Well, here's what I plan on doing, because there's a pretty extensive report from the arresting officer.
Yes, sir.
So I want to read that into the record, and that's going to remind me of what occurred here and what led to the citations. So, and this is from Trooper Jewell. March 3rd, 2024 at 5:08 p.m. I was sitting stationary eastbound, paying a median of US 52 near Milepost 14. I observed a blue Jeep Liberty traveling east left lane past my patrol car at a rapid speed. As the Jeep passed my patrol car, it shook my vehicle. Observed the blue Jeep quickly close on traffic and pass a group of motorcycles that were traveling in the right-hand lane. I proceeded to check the vehicle's speed with my front radar at 70, 71, 71. The vehicle proceeded to speed as it passed additional traffic. I proceeded to pull out from the median, catch up with the vehicle. Once I caught up with the vehicle, the speed of the Jeep was ranging from 76 to 78 miles an hour for approximately a quarter mile after I initiated my overhead lights. The Jeep continued to speed with me behind it for approximately 10 seconds before it applied brakes, pulled off to the right shoulder, crossing both lanes without signal. I made a passenger side approach of the vehicle, contacted the driver, who was identified as Mr. Wood. Once I reached the passenger side, I asked the driver if the passenger window rolled down. He gestured and pointed at the driver's window, which was rolled down 2 inches. It had something wedged between the window and the inside of the door to prevent the window from sliding down. I observed Mr. Wood did not look at me directly. He looked in the direction of the shoulder when looking at me. So I walked over to the driver's window in order to talk with the driver. Prior to reaching the driver's window, Mr. Wood stated something which I was unable to hear due to the window being rolled up. I asked him if he knew he was speeding. He proceeded to hand me his license, asked if he knew how fast he was going. He advised me that he did not know. While standing at the driver's door, I observed a strong odor of alcohol coming from the passenger compartment through a small window gap. Due to having difficulties hearing Mr. Wood through the gap in the window and traffic passing by, I asked him if the window rolled down further. He informed me that it did not. I asked if he could open the door, which he did not answer, and continued to talk about the window not being able to roll down. I asked Mr. Wood if he knew how fast he was going. He informed me he believed he was going 15 over. Mr. Wood informed me that he was driving fast to go to his woman's house to help move the couch. I informed Mr. Wood I checked his speed at 71 when he was passing a group of motorcycles and asked if he recalled that group. He informed me he did not recall the motorcycles, and that he did recall the motorcycles and that he was watching out for them. Proceeded to inform him that while I was behind him, I paced him at 78 miles an hour. I then asked him why it took him a while to pull over. He informed me he wanted to find a safe place. Then asked him he asked if I needed proof of insurance and registration, which I informed him I did. While talking with him, I observed his eyes were bloodshot. He had difficulty keeping his eyes focused toward the direction of my eyes. I also observed his speech was muffled and jumbled. I continued to observe a strong odor of alcohol coming from the passenger compartment. These combined, based upon my past experiences, have been accused of impairment. I confirmed he was headed to his girlfriend's and asked where he was coming from. He stated from his house. He handed me his registration and informed me his insurance was on his phone. I asked Mr. Wood while he was pulling his insurance up for a phone number. He provided a number. As he opened Snapchat on his phone, showed me a message which apparently was from his girlfriend. Observed the message he was attempting to show me, mentioned something about making grilled chicken. I informed him that I didn't need to see anything on Snapchat and thought he was pulling up his insurance information. He said he was unable to pull it up from his phone currently. He informed me he could just present insurance to the court, I informed him he could present insurance information to the court, which he agreed to do. Asked him how much he had to drink. He shook his head side to side, saying he had not drank much. I told him I could smell alcohol coming from his vehicle. He proceeded to inform me that his brother was a cop, so he was being honest with me. I asked him how much was not much. He informed me 3. Then asked him what was the time frame he consumed 3, and when did he start drinking. He informed me that he drank during the course of 4 hours, and he started drinking about 2 or 3 o'clock. I asked him if he took his seatbelt off, which informed me that he doesn't wear a seatbelt. Informed that he knew he was speeding. If I were to write a ticket, he said he would step out in order to ensure, asked him to step out in order to ensure he was good to drive. He agreed to step out and asked if he could turn off his ignition, which he did. Stepped out, directed him to the front of my patrol car. Once he stepped out, he told me that he had cornea dystrophy, which affects his sensitivity to light. I turned off the front deck of my light bar, gave him standard field sobriety tests, asked him if he wore contacts. He said he did not. I asked if they react to light, which informed me that they don't react to anything. I asked him if he had any recent head injuries. He said he had had a concussion in high school. He said that he was 28 years old. He informed me he's still affected him. I asked him if he had had any recent head injuries, which he said he had not. He said he'd been struggling with mental health due to his mother's medical condition. Excuse me. Asked him if he had any back or leg issues. Informed me that he has scoliosis. Asked if it impacted his ability to walk a straight line and keep his balance. Asked him if he had any other health issues. He said there was nothing else other than stuff he had been going through and that he currently was really trying to make it to his woman. I asked him if he takes any kind of medication. He told me he has prescribed medications, but he never picked them up. Horizontal gaze and nystagmus. Asked him to watch the stimulus, top of the pen, in front of his face. He stayed less than a foot, then retrieved my flashlight from the car. In order to use the length of it as a gauge to demonstrate the stimulus. Proceeded to check his eyes, ensure his pupils are equal and tracked equally, no resting nystagmus. Eyes tracked equally, pupils were equal in size, no resting nystagmus. 6 of 6 clues were observed. Black and smooth pursuit, distinct and sustained nystagmus at maximum deviation both eyes. Onset of nystagmus before 45 degrees. I observed Mr. Wood swaying slightly from side to side throughout the test. Mr. Wood continuously looked away from the stimulus during the administration of the test. Walk and turn test was not given due to scoliosis. One leg stand, also not administered. Portable breath test, offered portable breath test. He said, can I deny that? Informing me that he could deny the portable breath test and asked if he wished to deny it. He said if he could deny it, have someone pick up his car. I asked Mr. Wood why he would have someone pick up his car, informing me that he didn't know if he would blow over or not. He asked again if he could just deny it and leave the car there and give me his keys. I asked if he felt like he would blow over, which informed me that he did not know. I told him that if he wished to deny the PBT, it was fine. No consequence. I asked if he would just take his ticket and go because he really needed to get to his girlfriend and help her move a couch. I placed Mr. Wood under arrest for OVI, read his Miranda rights, performed a search of his person, read him BMV 2255, transported to the Iron Control Post, asked me if he had ever been arrested for OVI, informed me he has never been arrested, and then transported to the Iron Control Post. Advised him he has 2 prior OVI convictions through Kentucky, 2017 and 2018. Provided a breath sample on the intoxicator 8,000 that showed a score of .254. He decided for speed, failure to wear a safety belt, operating a vehicle on uniform, and OVI. Vehicle was seized and inventory towed by Johnson's Towing Service to the Iron Control Post. Okay, any response or statement you want to make to the statement of the officers?
Your Honor, Mr. Wood indicated to me, I went over that with him previously, sort of on him, Trooper Jewell, very verbose in his reports, but this seemed to be a relatively routine stop. Mr. Wood says it was very cordial. There wasn't anything out of the way. He thought the officer was professional. He thought he was nice to the officer.
This would be considered a third.
Does he have proof of insurance?
Oh, yeah, there was never proof of insurance furnished.
Your Honor, he indicates to me he had insurance at the time. However, he did not renew his insurance because he hasn't been able to drive. He'll have to get his old insurance card and provide that to the BMV at some point, or the court, but I don't know if he can get it back here by today. So if it goes in, he'll have to deal with that at some point in the future.
Yeah, because you're going to get a suspension for this, but you'll get a separate suspension for driving without insurance if you don't have proof of it. So it just digs a hole deeper for you to ever get your license back. Well, this is a difficult case. I mean, there's been some effort at getting some treatment, but I'm not convinced that that you're over your problem. I mean, this is marginal. I mean, what you furnish to the court, in my opinion, very marginal evidence of treatment. Is there anything you wish to say, Mr. Wood or Mr. Goulart, further on his behalf?
Your Honor, there were several things that I think we were trying to take into consideration in this case. One of those things had to do with the prior offenses. It looked like through discovery, there was one prior in Wood County in 2017. However, it resulted in a $200 fine. On the report, it indicates that that was a guilty finding for an OVI. There's no other, there's a blurb on the report that just says violating under the influence, second offense, but it has no conviction, no resolution, no nothing related to that case. So that's part of the reason that we were attempting to treat this as a second offense for sentencing purposes. And then the hope was that Mr. Wood could complete treatment to appease the court and perhaps allow a reduction in jail time to the recommendation that we're making today, which was 90 days with 85 suspended. You did have two. I know you've got the recent update from King's Daughters. However, you should also have in the court's file updates from Pathways that referenced his treatment that was happening before he transitioned to King's Daughters. He's been in treatment constantly at this point since this incident.
I've got two reports from King's Daughter. I've got one dated October 25th, 2024. It's just a letter with a single paragraph. To whom it may concern, Michael J. Wood is an active patient at King's Daughter Outpatient Wellness Clinic, meeting all program requirements and is compliant with treatment. Patient entered into the program June 24th, 2024, is doing well. Patient has moved from weekly appointments to King's Daughter Outpatient Wellness Clinic to bi-weekly appointments. Should you have any questions, findings, or recommendations, please feel free to contact a certain person. And then I've got today's, which is very similar. Basically saying the same thing. Now with this one, I do have some laboratory reports attached, showing basically all it says is that clean drug screens, negative drug screens is all it is. It doesn't give me any further detail on his treatment.
Yeah, okay, I understand. I don't know if they generate a record. I guess they generate a record every time he goes to individual treatment over there.
I haven't been furnished.
I don't have it either.
I don't have anything from Pathways.
Well, let's see if I've kept some of their updates. I've kept a couple of their updates. I've got one, Judge, which I think was probably one of the last ones, but it indicates a next appointment on June 12th. I can give the court a copy of it, but he's being treated.
Why don't we do this? I'll give you another chance, but I'm not impressed with what he's furnished to the court. I mean, this is bad.
Yeah,
at least on the face of it, he's got 2 prior alcohol-related offenses, driving. He's a young guy. This one, 25. That is way drunk. 25, that's 3 times the legal limit.
Yeah, I agree.
3 times the legal limit and 78 miles an hour in a 55 zone. Totally irresponsible. You're putting your life, my grandkids, my kids, everybody here at risk. You're acting like a total jerk. And I'm not convinced you've changed your ways yet. I think, well, you're just doing enough to try to stay out of jail. I'm not going to put you back out there without some penalty. You got to serve a penalty for this one. And right now, it's not looking that good for you. You haven't even brought in proof of insurance. I mean, according to the report the officer gave, he told you could bring proof of insurance to the court.
I was not aware of
And
that.
you never, be quiet. You haven't even brought that in. And we've been at this since March. You haven't brought proof of insurance in. Okay, I'm going to give you another month, and I better see a lot more activity and more records.
Yes, sir.
Maybe he needs to change providers. I mean, I don't have too many people going to King's Desire for treatment, and maybe there's a reason. Because this just doesn't look, and the report's not showing me that you're doing a whole lot. On a third offense, here's the mandatory with a high test score. 60 days in jail, $850 fine. I don't know if I didn't even get into who the vehicle was titled to. Was it titled to him?
It was, Your Honor.
Forfeiture of the vehicle.
I've talked to him about all the possible penalties, Judge. He's very well aware that this is a serious,
Minimum
very serious
license
matter.
suspension of 2 years up to a maximum of 10 years. Come back January 27th, and you better have your ducks in a row then.
Yes, sir.
If you want to reduce this. I mean, you're going to get some jail time, it's just a matter of how much. You've got to have jail time on this. There's no way you're taking out of jail time on this.
Yes, sir.
And just for the record, Judge, that's never been discussed as a possibility.
I understand, but it's not going to be, as of today, it wasn't going to be 15 days either. It wasn't going to be what was proposed.
Understood. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Nathaniel Bullen, case number CRB 2670.
Okay, I've got a report on you from Ms. Rayburn at the VA. Just have to find it. Yeah, here it is.
Do you care if I blow my nose, Your Honor?
Go
Can I blow my-
ahead.
All right.
This is a report I got from, so I'm over the last one, so you don't have to worry. You got to shift gears, so you got a good report. Amanda Rayburn from the VA says, Bullen graduated today, he did well, but I think he should be tested. Okay. I didn't remember that part. So she's got some concerns, but you finished the program. Okay, let's have you do a test. She recommends you test today, so let's have you do a test.
Okay.
State of Ohio versus Crystal McMillan, case number CRB 16688.
Okay, this is just you finishing up. You've got, all you got left is some community service, right?
Yeah, how many, is it only one more day? I turned in some days the other day, I don't know if it made it in the system yet.
Well, I don't, how many days did you turn in?
4, I think I only owed 5, so I don't know if I
You
just.
owed 6 according to what I'm showing, so.
Oh, okay, all right,
If you had 4 days credit, you got 2 days left.
okay, all right.
Last that was, put in was on 11/27.
You've turned in some since then?
Yes.
Okay, it hadn't been updated since then, so.
Okay.
If you want to check in with Mr. Major, he can tell you the exact number you've got, but you have turned in some, so that's good, you're making progress. I'll set you out in January, if you get it finished, you don't have to come back.
Okay, all right,
Let me
thank
give
you.
you, wait a minute, let me give you a date. So you know
Sorry.
when you gotta come back by, get it finished by. Okay, this is a really old case, I want to give you a month.
Okay.
So January 10th. You get it done by then, you don't have to be here for your hearing. Check with Mr. Major, see what you got left.
Thank you.
State of Ohio recalls Leslie A. Hammond at the Lawrence County Jail, case number CRB 24777. Amber Smith is on deck.
No response? No response. Well, the only thing I noted is continue to the 13th. Will Mr. Smith be here then?
The judge, he didn't give me any days he was not going to be available, so I would presume, if not, I'll stand in for him. If that's acceptable with the court. I've got quite a bit of information about this lady.
Okay, Mr. Hill, do you have any input from you on this?
I wouldn't feel good about suggesting that she be released, because I think that there are some issues, and her family obviously is very, very concerned about her. And seeing that we don't really have a place for her to go today, I don't see that we have any choice but to come back again on Friday. Hopefully things will get squared away, and if there's anything that I could do to help her find her a place, let me know.
Okay, family, you got any input you want to give the court or Mr. Hill? One of the problems here is anytime we get a person out of state with an out-of-state pay source, it makes it harder to find a place to put them.
She has private insurance, Your Honor.
She does?
Yes, sir.
Which private insurance?
She has Surest through her work.
Okay. Well, in some ways, that's good, but it's the Bluffs.
Your Honor, if I may, a good place, they accept private insurance, and Ohio, West Virginia, and Kentucky Medicaid is Harmony Ridge.
Okay, in Barbersville.
Yeah,
This is going to be mostly mental health, I think.
okay. I'll have to call them and see.
Okay, well, okay, we won't just continue it. Let's do a little more digging, see if we can come up with something today.
State of Ohio versus Amber Smith at the Lawrence County Jail.
Judge, did you give me a date on when you continued Ms. Hammond to?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
We're going to come back.
How long?
People are trying to find a place for her to go. We're looking at the Bluffs and we're looking at Harmony Ridge.
Can I have those case numbers, Your Honor?
22-430, 24-773, 24-774. Okay, this is another one we were looking for.
I have her.
OVP?
No, Recovery Point in Charleston. I think
How's she gonna get there?
she has family
I'll take her.
Okay.
I'm her
here
mom.
that would take her.
Can you
gotta-
identify yourself, ma'am?
Wanda Smith.
What's the state's position on that?
We're not opposed to that. The one thing that we do have a little bit of concern about is that we have a charge from 2022 that's never been resolved. I don't know if Mr. Morford's had a chance to speak with this young lady about the 2 theft charges, but, we would intend to go forward with those, but maybe if they were resolved today with a plea of guilty, we would delay sentencing. That would give us a little bit more leverage over her, even though she's going to go to West Virginia. So we'd like to at least get that resolved. We've got obviously the felony possession charge that could extend over to West Virginia if she didn't appear, things of that nature. So
One thing for Ms. Smith and family to understand, she's charged with a felony in this jurisdiction. So what does that mean? Felonies are cases where you can go to prison if you're convicted. There's 2 types of criminal charges. Misdemeanors, you can only go to the county jail. And on a misdemeanor warrant, can only be served in the state. So any state place in Ohio on a misdemeanor warrant, they'll arrest you, send you back here. Distinction on felony. Felony's good anywhere in the United States, ain't a warrant. Anywhere in the United States and most countries that have an extradition treaty with the United States. So if she goes to West Virginia and then leaves treatment or doesn't come for her hearings, a warrant issued on that felony is going to be good in West Virginia. She'll get picked up in West Virginia and be extradited back to Ohio eventually. So she can't hide out on a felony. I mean, the warrant will find her wherever she goes. Unless it's someplace that she doesn't want to go, like a country that doesn't have an extradition treaty with the United States. Probably not a place you want to live. So, now I'm a little reluctant to release her because she had a theft offense back in 2022 and she never came to court over it. And there's a warrant outstanding since then over that case. So that's why I initially was looking for a bond to guarantee her appearance. And she's got a felony possession charge pending. Aggravated possession of drugs involving methamphetamine, which is very common. That's probably the most common drug in our community right now is methamphetamine. It's bad stuff. The long-term effect is really very damaging. Recovery Point is a good place for her to go, but what will happen is she's going to have to, we need to know she's there, and she would have to, I'm okay with her appearing by teleconference from there, as long as they're verifying she's there and actively participating in treatment.
They will. She's been there before.
Okay.
Your Honor, I don't know whether this can happen today, but we do want a resolution to the 2 theft offenses before we feel comfortable with her going on to treatment.
What would you be asking the court for as far as sentencing goes?
I would be asking the court to delay sentencing and allow her to be successful in treatment, and then we would be able to make a much more lenient resolution to the theft offenses if she were to be successful in treatment.
Ms. Smith, do you understand what Mr. Hill is offering you?
I think so. It's hard to hear.
Judge, would you let me call her?
Well, let's see if we can straighten it out.
Okay.
What the state's offering you, ma'am, you have 2 misdemeanor theft offenses, one recent and one back in 2022. They want you to plead guilty to both of those, admit that they happened, but they're willing to let you delay sentencing and go to treatment at Recovery Point, and we'll put the sentencing off until hopefully you finish treatment. If you finish treatment, then they'll make a recommendation of what the sentence should be, and they've said on the record, the better you do in treatment, the better their recommendation will be for your sentencing. And actually, as to, from past experience, on the possession of methamphetamine, the most serious charge, if you complete treatment, they probably would dismiss it. So the most serious charge would go out the window if you complete treatment.
I'll do the treatment. I'll complete it.
Okay, and what about the theft offenses? How do you want to handle those?
Say it again.
How about the misdemeanor theft offenses? Are you willing to do what the state asks? They want you to plead guilty to those now and delay sentencing until a later date.
I mean, I was caught. Yes. I guess I'm sure this was big guilty.
Well, it's up to you. I mean, we can set it for a trial, or it may delay your going to treatment if we got to resolve
I'm
it.
going to try, I'm big guilty. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to accept your guilty plea on both the misdemeanors. So that's 774 on the 24 case. And that's 22,430. I'm just going to delay sentencing, and I'm going to order you released to your mother for transport to recovery point. And ma'am, I'm terrible remembering names. What's your name?
Wanda.
Wanda Smith? So we'll do an order to the jail releasing you to Wanda Smith, and I want her to go there immediately. Don't, she doesn't get a weekend off, or we're going to take your trip to Disney World or someplace before we go to treatment. She's got to go there immediately.
So she will take me straight there.
Correct.
So she will.
And then we'll set another hearing, and you can appear by teleconference. We'll get you the information, Mrs. Smith, before you leave. Mr. Morford can help you. Let's get you the login. If you have a smartphone, or, well, you can give it to her. They'll have them at the recovery point.
Okay.
She can log in, and then we'll need your counselor to get on and just say, yeah, she's doing what she's supposed to.
Okay.
That's all I want to hear.
All right.
I want you to be successful. I want you to get clean. And I know your family does. So this is a good opportunity for you. Take advantage of it. Do what you need to do to get clean and stay clean. Okay? That may mean, or probably does mean, changing some of your friends.
Yes, sir.
Get in church.
That's the main thing.
Make some friends at church. There'll be people there that want to see you likewise be successful, and they can support you. Okay, let's come back to monitor that you are doing what you're supposed to, and I'm thinking December 20th.
I believe I'm good then, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to see you December 20th, Amber, on just like this, but you're going to be in Charleston, and they're going to tell me she's doing great. She's doing what she's supposed to. All right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
December 20th, get her mother the login information this morning.
Yes, yes.
State of Ohio recalls Nathaniel Bullen, case number CRB 24670.
Your Honor, I believe he's still doing a urine screen.
Okay, what do they call it?
Well, we still have some back in holding the legal charges on him, and still have two other cases to recall, so.
Okay, we're kind of at a point where we can't go forward, so we'll take a recess and come back and things free up. Court's in recess.